The conflict between the Turks and the Mongols was primarily driven by the relentless competition for the rich lands and vital resources of the steppe. As the Mongol hordes pushed west, their clash with the Turkic Seljuk Sultanate was perhaps unavoidable, fueled by decades of
The Mongol army's tactics were unmatched. They utilized the Nege, a feigned retreat.
While the Mongol horse archers utilized speed and ranged attacks, the Ottoman Turks were heavy cavalry.
The open plains favored the Mongol cavalry, yet the high mountain passes of Anatolia slowed their advance in strongholds.
The swift conquests were shaped by the steppes, but as the Mongols pushed west, the rugged terrain of the role of the nomadic lifestyle was central to Mongol warfare. It gave them a distinct advantage in mobility and horsemanship.
The role of the nomadic lifestyle in Mongol warfare cannot be overstated.
How did Mongol invasions affect Turkic states in Central Asia?
How did Mongol invasions affect Turkic states in Central Asia?
The Mongols were successful due to their highly disciplined army, superior cavalry tactics, and ability to coordinate.
Why were the Mongols so successful against Turkish states?
Genghis Khan's centralized power through military conquest and strict discipline, while the Turkic rulers governed through Genghis Khan's leadership was defined by military prowess and rapid expansion across the steppe.
How did Turkish states adapt to Mongol military strategies?
The Mongol system emphasized meritocracy and tribal confederation under the Yasa, contrasting sharply with the Mongol invasion brought widespread destruction, yet paradoxically paved the way for the Ilkhanate period.
How did the Seljuk Sultanate weaken after Mongol attacks?
The Mongol invasions shattered Seljuk military power. The ensuing destruction, crippling tribute demands, psychological warfare was central to the Mongol strategy. They offered a stark choice: surrender or face total annihilation.
The Mongols understood that fear was as potent a weapon as the sword. Their psychological warfare aimed to break the enemy's will. The Mongol tide swept across the land, but here, in Anatolia, the Turkic Beyliks mounted a fierce and determined resistance.
Speed was paramount. Their ability to cover vast distances and strike before the enemy could react was the key to their military dominance.
Things. How did Mongol invasions change trade routes in Turkish lands?
How did Mongol invasions change trade routes in Turkish lands?
The Mongol recurve bow was formidable, but the Turkish favored a shorter version. The Kilij saber, with its though both utilized the powerful composite bow, the distinct curvature of the Turkish Kilij offered.
But how does this unify us with the Turks?
Through the faith, great Khan. It binds the warrior to the scholar under one law.
Islam proved to be the bridge between the Turks and the Mongol conquerors. The invaders gradually adopted the religion of the conquered.
Brothers, our faith is the bedrock of our resistance. With Allah's grace, We will protect our lands and our independence. Forward!
Mongol diplomacy with Turkish rulers often involved formal treaty negotiations, combining shows of strength with strategic concessions.
This decree confirms your authority, provided the tribute is paid promptly.
We accept the terms and swear allegiance to the Khan.
The Khan demands his tribute. These sacks are ours.
Please, if you take this, my family will starve. We have nothing left.
That is not my concern.
The Mongol system of taxation placed immense pressure on the Turkish populations, often leading to...
The yasa provided the foundation for the Mongol Empire, while Turkish legal traditions were deeply influenced by...
The yasa is absolute, binding all subjects equally under the eternal blue sky. Yet,
How did Mongol wars lead to the rise of new Turkish states? How did Mongol wars lead to the rise of new Turkish states?
Forward, brothers! Crush their lines! Forward, men! To victory!
Facing the Mongol horde, many Turkic tribes chose strategic alliance over annihilation, securing their positions through pacts like these.
Turkish tribes allied with the Mongols for several key reasons, primarily strategic military advantages and their shared nomadic culture.
We see the influence clearly in these texts. The mixture of styles is unique.
Yes, the Ilkhanate period fostered a new cultural synthesis.
While the Turks employed the fearsome power of the great cannon, the Mongols preferred the trebuchet.
The Ottomans favored massive bombards for direct assault, while the Mongols utilized trebuchets and psychological warfare.
They are vulnerable at the North Gate. The garrison is weak.
all warriors, to the North Gate! Attack now!
Though strongly built, many Turkish fortifications eventually succumbed to the relentless Mongol assault and advanced siege weaponry.
How did Turkish fortifications fare against Mongol attacks?
Analyze the long-term political effects of Mongol domination.
The Seljuk Sultanate's power waned after their decisive defeat by the Mulhords. The Mongol invasion proved catastrophic for the Seljuk Sultanate. The Battle of Köse in... How did Mongol invasions shape Ottoman emergence? How did Mongol invasions shape Ottoman emergence?
The concepts of honor and warfare differed significantly. For the Turks, it was the pursuit of the warrior ideal.
My Khan expects victory. Honor is taken, not given. And my Sultan requires order. True honor is shown in how we fight.
The Mongol military machine was defined by its logistics. A massive baggage train followed the warriors. The Mongol military campaign relied on unprecedented measures.
Feared for their relentless speed and discipline, the Mongol armies utilized superior cavalry tactics, striking hard and fast. The Mongols were masters of the steppe, combining unmatched horsemanship with disciplined formations and the deadly recurve bow. By holding a disciplined line and executing a swift flanking maneuver, the Turkish heavy cavalry neutralized the Mongols' hit-and-run tactics.
How did Turkish commanders counter Mongol hit-and-run tactics?
Analyze the importance of horse culture in both armies.
Ensure the decree is carried out across the provinces.
Attack! Leave none alive!
Ensure the new laws are inscribed and distributed by the vizier.
We move now! Burn the supply lines and show no mercy!
How did Mongol invasions affect Turkish cities?
The invasion resulted in the systematic destruction of urban centers. Mosques and centers of learning were reduced. Steppe warfare prioritized mobility and the lethal accuracy of the composite bow. The significance of steppe warfare lay in its unprecedented speed and scale, utilizing hit-and-run tactics. While the Mongols utilized the crescent formation, Turkic armies often employed a dense wedge, or hilal. The Mongols favored deep cavalry formations and the swift tulmet maneuver. The Ottomans, however, formed a discipline.
49. How did Mongol communication systems help them win wars?
The Mongols' innovative yam system allowed for rapid communication across their vast empire, giving their armies unprecedented speed and coordination.
Push them back! Push back! For Anatolia! Against the relentless tide of the Mongol expansion, the Turkish tribes stood firm, defending their...
Move the prisoners to the east camp. Send riders to scout the perimeter and raise the banner. To the horde, the great Khan reigns supreme. Secure the prisoners now.
How did Mongol wars reshape Central Asian politics? How did Mongol wars reshape Central Asian politics?
Moğolların sahte ricat taktiğini görüyor musunuz? Geri çekilirken böyle ok atmayı başarmalıyız.
Turkish warriors learned crucial tactics from the Mongols, particularly the feigned retreat and the devastating party shot.
The centralized, disciplined structure of the Mongol horde heavily influenced Turkish military reforms, leading to the rise of units like the Janissaries.
How did Mongol wars affect Islamic scholarship in Turkish lands? The destruction was profound, yet scholarship persisted. We see here how astronomical studies flourished under the new...
Let this seal signify our lasting peace. Agreed. May prosperity follow this union.
The Mongol grip on Turkish regions waned due to economic exploitation, internal strife, and
By the 14th century, administrative failures and the resilience of the local Turkish population led to the irreversible decline of Mongol authority in the region.
Ready your muskets! Hold the line, men!
How did Mongol invasions affect Turkish agriculture?
Fear was the bedrock of the Mongol strategy. By the time their armies arrived, the reputation for brutality had already broken the enemy's will to fight.
For the Mongol hordes, terror was not a byproduct of war. It was the strategy itself.
As the Mongol patrol advanced, the hidden archers unleashed a deadly volley, followed by a swift cavalry charge.
For the Sultan, charge!
Allahu Akbar!
We are under attack!
The Mongolian technique prioritized speed and accuracy on the move. The Ottoman Turks, however, were
The Mongols favored heavy bows and immense draw weight. In contrast, the Ottomans prioritized as speed.
How did Mongol wars change Turkish identity? How did Mongol wars change Turkish identity?
Forward! To me, warriors! Crush them! Forward, men! Push them back!
Compare Turkish and Mongol battlefield discipline.
The Mongols preferred open field battles because it allowed their highly mobile cavalry and deadly accurate compos to shine.
The Mongols preferred the open steppe because their superior mobility and unparalleled horsemanship allowed them to utilize devastating...
For the warriors of the steppe, the horse was everything. Mobility wasn't just an advantage, it was the foundation of their military strategy. The key to steppe warfare was unparalleled mobility. Mounted archers could outmaneuver any foe.
As the Mongol horde advanced, Turkic tribes were forced to migrate west. This massive displacement reshaped.
How did Mongol wars influence Turkish migration patterns? The Ottoman warrior's armor is typically ornate scale and chainmail. The Mongol, however, utilizes rugged.
While both utilized layered protection, the Mongol armor relied heavily on lacquered leather and iron plates.
For the Turkish and Mongol armies, the horse was everything. It was the source of their speed, their mobility, and their devastating mounted archery.
The horse was central to the Turkish-Mongol way of war, providing unmatched speed, firepower, and mobility across the vast steppe.
This classic feigned retreat, or mingun, used dust to hide their movements before they turned to unleash their deadly barrage.
How did Turkish warriors adapt to Mongol arrows?
Facing the Mongol onslaught, Turkish warriors utilized superior armor, heavy chainmail and lemonsinjas. While the Mongols sought rapid world conquest and tribute, the Turkish states focused on consolidating opponents. The Mongols prioritized rapid expansion and military dominance, while the Turks focused on long-term state building. The Mongol victory at Kösedag fundamentally reshaped Anatolia. As the Seljuks declined, the Mongol onslaught shattered the Seljuk Sultanate. From the ashes and the subsequent migration, a new
Your Sultan defy the will of the eternal blue sky.
Why did you lie? Why should I not crush his armies now?
Great Khan,
The Sultan sends word we must hold the line at Ankara. If it falls, the path to the sea is open.
Your Sultan forgets who...
Loyalty is the bedrock of our success. It binds us together, making our army an unstoppable force across the steppes.
Loyalty was the bedrock of the Mongol Empire. It bound the tribes together, transforming scattered clans into an unstoppable force.
Steppe Alliance has transformed from scattered tribes into equal forces, capable of dominating vast territory.
The significance of these alliances lay in their ability to forge a unified military might that controlled the flow of goods across the continent.
Show no mercy! Raise the tug! Push them back! To the barricades! We are overrun! Retreat!
Fire the arrows! The city is ours!
The siege utilized massive trebuchets to create a breach. Once the wall fell, the heavy cavalry would immediately
To analyze the Mongol strategy is to understand total warfare. They utilized captured engineers to build siege engines.
Outfits. The Mongol invasion dramatically altered the Seljuk Sultanate's administration, centralizing power and reforming tactics.
How did Mongol rule change Turkish administration?
The Mongol charge was terrifying in its discipline and ferocity. Yet, the Turkic defenders met them with an equally formidable...
Comparing the morale, The Mongols' terrifying speed is matched only by the Turks' disciplined advance. Few armies could withstand either. The Mongol invasion shattered the old order, allowing new Turkish beyliks, foremost among them the Ottomans. The Ilkhanate's hold on Anatolia receded, challenged by the rise of Turkish beyliks.
Weakened by internal disputes and overstretched supply lines,
While the Mongols were masters of the organized charge, the Turkish Janissaries showcased discipline through rigid, synchronized volleys. Both the Ottoman Turks and the Mongols were defined by their military discipline, seen here in the Janissary March and the precision of the Mongol cavalry's archery volley. Shaped by centuries on the steppe, both the Turkish and Mongol armies perfected cavalry warfare.
The nomadic traditions of the Eurasian steppes forged formidable armies.
The vast steppes demanded speed and endurance. The horses bred by the Turks and Mongols were unmatched.
The superior cavalry tactics of the Mongols and Turks relied entirely on their horses, bred for endurance and speed.
The Mongol invasions effectively dismantled the centralized Seljuk state, ushering in an era of fragmentation and
The Mongol invasions shattered the Seljuk Sultanate fragmentation.
Scouts like these were crucial to the Mongols' success. They traveled light and fast, locating enemy forces and reporting their size and movements.
On the left, the Mongols, rapid and efficient. On the right, the Ottomans, structured and synchronized. The Mongols were known for their stark, fearsome discipline, capable of near-silent movement. The Turkish...
The feigned retreat began with a clash, followed by the Mongols drawing the Turkish forces into a disorganized pursuit.
The Mongols would feign a retreat, drawing the enemy in. As the Turks pursued, the Mongols fired the lethal...
The Turkish strongholds crumbled under relentless Mongol pressure. The commanders had tragically underestimated the speed and brutality of the invasion. The Mongols prioritized the rich Turkish trade cities along the Silk Road. These centers, like Samarkand,
Mongol communication involved horns and signal flags. Drums set the pace. Flags provided a visual center, and signals like the office saber.
The unity forged among the Mongol tribes was essential, transforming scattered clans into an unstoppable military force. Unable to counter the Mongols' speed and relentless arrow fire, the heavy Turkish infantry were systematically encircled and overwhelmed. The Mongol cavalry's superior mobility and devastating ranged attacks proved decisive. They would continuously circle the slower cannons. The Mongols survived the harshest winters through resilience, layered furs, and the warmth of their yurts, which...
Campaigns in the north demanded extreme resilience. The Mongols, clad in thick fur... The exorbitant taxes levied by the Ilkhanate crippled the Turkish economy.
The Mongols' insatiable demand for tribute crippled the once thriving trade routes, systematically draining the region of its wealth.
Mobility was the key to Mongol conquest. Their swift cavalry vast distances and executes.
Mobility was the cornerstone of the Mongol war machine. Their swift, highly trained cavalry utilized rapid flank.
The shadows grow longer. They will be here soon.
God protect us! We must run faster!
Faster! Keep the pace!
The carts are slowing us down.
They are almost upon us. Hurry!
The main road passes through the valley, but the fortress guards the river crossing.
We move at dawn. Silence is crucial.
Utilizing detailed scouting reports and captured maps, the Mongols analyzed the terrain.
The river crossing is vulnerable. We attack at dawn.
The Mongol cavalry's speed was key in disrupting the Turkish defenses. By using the tugma, the Mongol light cavalry executed a swift encirclement, showering the static Turkish lines with... To maintain their vast supply lines, the Mongol army utilized large herds of horses for food. To sustain their forces across Eurasia, the Mongols established vast supply lines, utilizing
Your tribute is insufficient. We take the goats now.
Mercy, my lord. We barely have enough to survive the winter.
The Mongol strategy of indirect control. While local rulers managed daily administration, they were compelled to pay heavy taxes and tribute to the Mongol overlords. By demanding heavy tribute and military service, the Mongols controlled the Turkish rulers without directly administering their lands.
Before the battle even began, the Mongol armies instilled a paralyzing fear.
The sheer scale of the Mongol horde was enough to break the will of any opposing army before the battle even began.
Compare Turkish and Mongol armor effectiveness.
Driven by the Mongol onslaught, Turkish populations undertook a vast migration, fundamentally altering the cultural and political landscape of the Middle East.
You dare defy the great Khan. Your rebellion ends here. Let this be a lesson to those who challenge our rule.
Mounted archery was central to their training.
With the lowering of the imperial standard, 6 centuries of Ottoman rule effectively came to an end.
They're tearing down the flag! It is finished!
All units, hold this position! The city is ours!
Mongol leadership was swift and decisive, often military in nature. In contrast, the Ottomans favored a more bureaucratic and deliberate approach.
Mongol leadership was often swift and centralized under the Khan. In contrast, the Ottomans utilized a formalized
The Mongol onslaught fractured the Seljuk state, leading to decades of infighting. This significantly delayed the emergence of a unified Turkish power. The Mongol victory at Kösede crippled the Seljuk Sultanate. This usher of fragmentation.
Anatolia represented a vital prize. Not only did it offer rich agricultural lands, but its position at the nexus. The Mongol conquest secured Anatolia's vast resources and, critically, its position as the crossroads between
The Mongol victories dramatically altered the political landscape of Anatolia. The Mongol victories, particularly the Battle of Kösede in 1243, led to the collapse of the Seljuk Sultanate. These fortified cities were the front line. The Seljuks knew that against the Mongols' overwhelming cavalry, the Seljuk Turks utilized massive, heavily fortified stone cities to counter the Mongol horde. These citadels... Long sieges were costly in both manpower and supplies. The Mongol solution was encirclement. Long sieges were a liability for the fast-moving Mongol horde. They preferred... The relentless Mongol onslaught led to a deep sense of hopelessness and defeat among the Turkic peoples, shattering their morale. The Mongol campaign brought not just military defeat, but a psychological collapse. The Mongol army operated on a strict decimal system. Orders from the Khan were rapidly disseminated through the chain of command. The chain of command was absolute, structured decimally from the Tumen down to the Arban, a unit of just 10 men. From the synchronized arrow volleys of the Mongols to the precise musket drills of the Janissaries, discipline was paramount.
Loyalty was the bedrock of Mongol success. Bound by unwavering allegiance,
Show them the loyalty we have for the Khan. Ride hard, and victory shall be ours!
This highlights a critical error. The reliance on the cavalry hammer against a fortified infantry anvil proved disastrous time and again.
The Sipahi charge lacked discipline. By breaking formation prematurely, they allowed the coordinated Imperial cavalry to...
The Mongol composite bow generated far greater kinetic energy. When combined with the armor-piercing bodkin tip, it could easily shatter the Turkish defenses.
The Mongols' armor-piercing bodkin tips easily outmatched the Turkish defenses, punching through wood and lamellar armor alike. The Ottomans favored organized, overwhelming sieges to build a lasting empire, while the Mongols utilized rapid cavalry shipments. While Mongol conquest emphasized mobility and tribute, the Turks focused on state building,
This was total war on an unprecedented scale. The Mongol hordes swept across the land.
The Mongol strategy wasn't merely about conquest.
The Mongol conquests integrated Turkish cities into their vast empire. This new stability,
By creating a terrifying spectacle of dust and sound, the Mongols used fear itself as a weapon.
To the Mongols.
Turkish training emphasized synchronized infantry maneuvers, a stark contrast to the Mongol focus on horsemanship and the devastating cavalry charge.
The Mongol influence on Turkish military thinking was profound. The devastating effectiveness of their cavalry and
the Mongols' devastating flanking maneuvers, particularly the Turan tactic, profoundly shaped the military strategies of the emerging Turkish states.
You thought you could defy the great Khan. Now grovel in the dust where you belong!
Mercy. Please, I beg you.
Your disobedience shames your people. The great Khan's will is absolute. Guards, seize him! Prepare the felt. He will be trampled.
This decree from the great Khan is now the law of the land. See that it is implemented.
Analyzing the effects of Mongol dominance on Turkish law, the impact was profound, particularly the introduction of the yasa.
We maintain order and ensure the tribute flows smoothly, Great Khan. The people are accustomed to our rule.
It is logical. Proceed as discussed.
The Mongols found it pragmatic to retain local rulers, ensuring stability and the continued flow of tribute from distant lands.
To the next Yam! Immediately!
Your new horse is ready! Safe travels!
For the Mongols, strategic patience meant enduring the harsh steppe, waiting for the opportune.
The Mongols' rapid flanking maneuvers and centralized command fundamentally altered Turkish warfare.
The Mongol invasion fundamentally altered Turkish military structure. The reliance on light cavalry shifted towards...
Under the relentless bombardment, the human will breaks.
Analyzing the role of fear in Turkish surrender decisions reveals the intense psychological pressures faced by soldiers on the battlefield.
For the Mongol Empire, loyalty was paramount. They understood that while religion could divide, unwavering felt...
The great Khans understood that the administration of a vast empire required the loyalty of skilled men, regardless of their faith.
For the Turks, victory was divine favor. Defeat, a temporary trial.
While the Mongols saw victory in relentless expansion and battlefield prowess, the Ottomans emphasized discipline.
The Mongols often presented prisoners of war with a stark choice: servitude or death. The Mongols had a complex system for dealing with prisoners.
The unforgiving terrain proved to be as formidable an opponent as any army, leading to significant Turkish defeats. The rugged terrain of the mountains proved to be a significant obstacle, neutralizing cavalry advantages and devastating supply lines. Facing strong Turkish resistance and fortifications, the Mongol High Command adapted. They incorporated captured...
To counter the heavy Turk cavalry, the Mongols perfected the feigned retreat. They would draw the enemy in.
Move the prisoners faster! Clear this area now!
What will become of us now?
The city is lost. May Allah have mercy.
We strike here. Tell the Ottomans to move swiftly and show no mercy.
All units, prepare to charge! Forward! Attack now! Leave none alive!
The Ilkhanate faced numerous challenges. Internal conflicts and the vastness of Zaire Assasa led to overextension
of the faction. The weakening of Mongol rule in the Turkish lands was multifaceted, stemming from internal divisions, costly wars.
Faced with Mongol control, the Turkish beyliks adopted multifaceted strategies.
As you can see, Lord, the trade routes remain secure, and the tribute is ready for the Khan. We maintain order here.
The Mongol invasion reshaped everything, driving waves of Turks into Anatolia.
The Mongol wars reshaped the Turkish world. They shattered the old order, forcing a cultural synthesis that blends...
This line here shall demarcate the French sphere.
And the British presence must be secured in Mesopotamia.
The terms are agreed. The territories are secured from the Turk.
While the Mongols aimed for world conquest and trade dominance, the Turkish goals centered on
The Mongols excelled at adapting their battle plans. Here we see the classic feigned retreat.
The feigned retreat was a hallmark of Mongol warfare. As the enemy pursued, the disciplined cavalry would suddenly wheel, executing the devastating tulip maneuver.
The Mongols' greatest strength was their tactical flexibility. Here we see the feigned retreat, luring. The Mongols' greatest strength was their tactical brilliance. The feigned retreat, or tulma.
The Ottoman defeat in the Great War led to the dissolution of the empire. New mandates, primarily under British and French.
The defeat of the Ottoman Empire led to the Treaty of Sèvres, drastically reshaping the Middle East. Britain and France.
While the Mongols favored speed and overwhelming force with archers, the Ottomans utilized massive artillery to breach city walls.
Massive cannons and musket fire.
Discipline was everything. When the order came, the thousands moved as one, showcasing the obedience that made them unstoppable.
As seen here, Turkish traditional tactics emphasized mobility.
The reliance on disciplined heavy cavalry and flanking maneuvers remained a cornerstone of their strategy for centuries. By devastating established centers of power and eliminating the ruling class, the Mongols created a void. The Mongol ambition was sheer scale and speed, contrasting with the Ottoman focus on centralized power and sophisticated siege warfare.
The impact is clear in their organizational structure. The Janissaries, for instance, mirror the discipline seen in the Mongol Chiliarchs. The Mongol influence was profound. Their decimal system and disciplined tactics were adopt Turks.
By showcasing overwhelming force and using siege engines to cause maximum destruction and terror, the Mongols forced cities to surrender.
Mongol terror tactics were brutally effective. Cities were given a choice: surrender immediately or face total annihilation.
We strike here, at the pass. It is the only way to cut off the Mongol supply lines.
It is risky, Bey, but necessary.
They are camped here by the river. We strike at dawn.
For Anatolia!
The Mongol conquests dramatically reshaped the political landscape of Anatolia, leading directly to the rise of the Beyliks. Mongol control was a stark duality. The fear instilled by their swift, brutal conquests paved the way for an era of unprecedented governance and stability.
Mongol control was established through overwhelming force and fear. These routes must remain secure. Trade brings prosperity to the Khan and stability to the lands.
Despite centuries of interaction and shared nomadic lifestyles, the Mongols maintained their distinct cultural identity. The Turco-Mongol Wars forged a new synthesis. This powerful legacy is evident in the flourishing Silk Road. The Turks exhibited stronger long-term adaptation, successfully transitioning to enduring, centralized.
Evaluate who adapted better to change, Turks or Mongols.